Hello, 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 hello.
You love to say many hellos. I love that. It's very upbeat and positive. I'm in a bed. My throat is bad. Because all I do is drink coffee and work. That's it.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know what I can do about it. I do know that.
Well, you could drink more water.
All right.
I'm just saying you could.
I don't think it's a water thing. I told you what the ear doctor said, right?
No, what did the ear doctor say?
So I went to this ear doctor because I have an ear infection.
Right, and you were almost not able to fly last week on all of our adventures.
Yeah. I was told by my doctor, Laporta, I might not be able to fly. And then my ear doctor said, you can fly.
Right.
But I went to my ear doctor. I said hello. The first words out of her mouth, I said, hey, thank you so much for seeing me on short notice. The first thing she said to me, do you always sound like that?
Oh.
The very first thing she said to me. And I go, I do. And she goes, I don't like the sound of that. And I didn't have the heart to tell her, I'm already married. I don't care whether you like it. It's a woman. Sure. And not that a man wouldn't say it to me, would. But she looked at the ear. And then she goes, I'm looking at your throat too. Right. And now she's referred me to a specialist.
Right, but she referred you to the specialist for an ear infection.
No. I'm going to my ear doctor again tomorrow.
Okay.
And the ear doctor, they're an ENT, has referred me to a throat specialist to find out why I sound this way. It sounds terrible to me.
I don't know. You've sounded that way, I feel like, since we've been together.
I don't know how you dated this because I started hearing it. It's just, and I want to cough up like, so bad, like that feels a little clearer.
Right.
But it always feels like something's right on my vocal cord.
Right.
Now, she went all the way up and she looked and she didn't see anything abnormal, but she's going to try and fix it.
Right. Well, you know what I do think is funny? So, I mean, we've been together for 27 years. And for me, you sound exactly the same. I mean, I can't tell the difference at all, like from the day one to now. And I even heard... when Lynn Harold had put up that little clip from our wedding, and I heard you from way back when, and you sound a little different, but not much.
Not much.
And so for me, it just sounds very deep and froggy, like a froggy, deep, like throaty
I don't know how you hear deep. I hear squeaky.
Well, I don't hear that, but obviously, my perception is not the same as others. Because whenever you're on the phone with a customer service rep, they always say, ma'am, how can I help you, ma'am?
It's because a lot of women in this country smoked and drank scotch. I never smoked, but that's just natural.
There was that one father on a soccer team years ago. I won't say who he is. But it was like that Seinfeld episode that I never knew if I was talking to the husband or the wife on the phone. Because back then when Maddie and Tabby were younger, people still had home phones. And so you would still call their home phone.
How old are we?
I'm not saying like...
One ringy dingy?
But back then nobody has a home phone now. But back then people still had home phones and you would call and I never knew who I was talking to.
Never know. And... so she's going to look at my throat. I go again tomorrow to have the ear like that again. And then the throat. But all I do, my point really in all this is that all I do is work.
Right. Well, I mean, that's not true. Because just last week we were in Vegas. And... You don't recall how hard I worked at the crap table and brought home the bacon We'll talk about that. Yeah. So
because I worked my ass off.
So last week we actually had a super busy week. First, we were in Vegas celebrating Derek's birthday, our GM's birthday.
But can I just say one thing too?
Yeah.
Derek is always like, oh, men don't celebrate birthdays. His birthday was in July or August. When was his birthday?
His birthday was August.
Okay. Here we are, October, and we're doing how many celebrations does Derek need?
That was a surprise.
Okay,
Derek.
It doesn't matter. When I turned the age I turned, 60, I'm 60. I don't give a shit who knows it. I'll push up every one of you people. When I turned 60, next to nothing
That's a lie. I had a big dinner party for
You did, but Derek, no. Now, Derek's birthday, we threw him a big party. We went to Vegas. I'm calling bullshit on Derek's celebration of my birthday. I want you all to text message Derek and say, hey, Derek, Vinny wants to go skiing in Montana for his birthday. And apparently, since his birthday is lasting months and months and months, mine can too.
Listen, I'm all in for birthday celebrations. I love birthday celebrations. But I want to talk a little bit about Vegas. Mm-hmm. So first we had Vegas, and that was the first part of our week. So we flew out to Vegas. It was us and Patty, one of our other managers, her significant other, Doug, and Josephine and Derek. And we fly out. It's a surprise for Derek that we're going to be there.
Very nice to do. Very nice.
It was a lot of fun. But there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So, Noah, can you put the pictures up of Vegas?
Uh-oh. Do I know?
So the first picture is us at Hoover Dam.
Which was amazing.
Which was super amazing, right? It was just, if you listen to the whole story about the Hoover Dam, which I didn't recall much from my childhood, like, you know, when you're in school and you're learning about stuff like that, you're like,
you saw Hoover Dam once before?
No, when I said I learned about it in school. No.
They didn't teach women about the Hoover Dam when you were young because that was a man thing. Men built the Hoover Dam. So
there are days that I just want to take my pencil and stab you in the hand. There are days, and today is one of them. So,
but why would they teach a woman about that back when you were in school? They wouldn't. Because men built the Hoover Dam.
You don't even kind of believe that, which is what is so funny. What? You don't even kind of believe that, which is so funny.
I don't.
But anyway, it was such a fascinating story about the Hoover Dam. But what was even more funny, like we were all amazed. We were in amazement at this incredible, I don't even know what you want to call it.
A dam.
No.
Call it the Hoover Dam.
Fuck you. So anyway,
it was incredible. It was what would you call it? Let's go with Dan.
So anyway, we did the tour.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you know, you're seeing how, you know, the underground works, and you just go down. I don't know, how many stories did we go down?
So we went down. I think we went down 15 stories.
Right, and
there's so much information.
Right.
That I want to go back because I forgot, and I ordered a book to read about the dam because while I knew the dam, of course, while I knew the dam would be impressive, it's mind-boggling.
Right. But what I liked about it, so you're learning all about the dam and how they did it. First, there's a movie, and then you paid extra after the movie to go down. And
$30.
Right.
Nothing.
But my point is that people paid extra for this part. You go down, you see they're turbines, right?
Turbines.
Right, you see the turbines. I look over, and there's two girls. First of all, they're in.
Did you take their picture?
No, I did not.
I wish you did.
I think that's rude when people do that. I really do.
I do too. I just wish you took it from me.
No, but they're in pajamas. They can't even get dressed for the day. And normally I'm very like, oh, accept everybody for what they are. But first of all, it was like 100 degrees and they're in fleece pajamas.
Fleece pajamas.
And we're learning about the turbines. And there's these huge turbines. And I happen to look over at the bench and they've got their hats over their face sleeping like this.
And the only thing these girls were damming up were their arteries. Let's call it.
Oh, stop. That's rude. That's mean and rude. But my whole point is, why go on the tour?
Right.
If you're just gonna sleep, like even pretend it was a half-hour tour. We're not talking about hours and you're just wiped out from it. It was a half-hour tour.
Hey, by the way, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
So there were three of them.
Yes.
And
one was the mother.
Pardon?
One was the mother.
Doesn't matter. When we got to that point of the tour,
right,
we are now down an amazing elevator shaft.
Right.
And we walk down this long corridor, all poured concrete. You're in the middle of a mountain, walking to where the turbines are. And when you got to that room where the turbines were, you're looking over the turbine, there's a rail, and you're, probably 4 stories above or 3 stories
Right.
above the turbine, and you're looking down at this long row, 9 electric generators that are just spitting out electricity for Colorado, California, Utah, incredible.
Incredible.
And everybody rushed to get a good spot on the rail.
Yeah.
Except for those 3 that rushed to the back wall. They didn't even look
No.
at the turbine. Now, listen, I accept them for what they were, and I joke about them, but they had no interest in it.
No.
I don't know why they went on the tour. I think they were the reason the tour guide started getting surly.
No, the tour guide was getting surly, so our tour guide started getting very snappy. Very snappy, and it was extremely uncomfortable because he started yelling at us.
Look at the dam!
Yeah, and he
Take this serious. He actually said at one point, take this seriously.
right, and then he said, folks, you can't hear me if you're all talking.
Yeah.
And first of all, we're not in school, so we paid for it, and everybody was listening, but also it's a group of adults, and because the other thing with the tour is you can't be, they don't allow children on the tour. You had to be, it was, I believe, 9 years and up.
9 and up, yeah.
And so they don't allow children on the tour, or young children, I should say. And so then when there was a woman in front of us who was probably about 90.
Yeah, she was having a little trouble.
Where she was having trouble getting down one of the really long corridors because it was a cement tunnel.
But it was round.
It was round.
It was like walking through a monkey barrel at the fair.
Yes. And so you had to really take your time. And so she's literally 90. It was like 3 generations. It was her daughter, and then her granddaughter.
You know something interesting I hadn't thought about until just now. She was old enough to be a very young kid, only within 15 years that damn going online.
Right. Well, so I thought about that because I said to myself, this will probably be this woman's last time at the Hoover Dam, and it might be her first time. I don't know. And she's on this tour, trying to soak it in with her family. And what is our tour guide doing? Guys, I don't have all day. And so then...
And from the looks of it, Grandma, neither do you. Snap it up.
I couldn't believe him. And so because she was in front of us, weren't going to cut it short just because, and we're not going to rush her either.
Well, you know that I offered her assistance at one point.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
She was sitting on that bench.
Oh, yes, I did. I saw that.
Crowding in the elevator. Everyone just watching her. And I very discreetly said, would you like some assistance?
Oh, well, that was the other thing that the tour guide did. So.
I'm that kind of person.
Yes. So she, at
you
one
did not
point.
Offer her help.
I didn't realize she needed help. But at one point, when he first brought her to the bench, because she was having trouble standing for a while, he said she went to the bench and her daughter peeked over. Did you see what he said? She's fine. Go back in line. It was the
No,
worst.
looking at your mother. You're looking at the dam. Your mother you can see in photographs, family albums, wedding pictures.
Right. So the second picture.
Can I say one thing
yes.
before you go on? Mm-hmm. The thing that created a conversation for me, and we almost get yelled at it for, he didn't point out that there were earthquake sensors on the floor.
Right.
Which I found amazing. We're from the Northeast. We don't have that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're in the dam.
He did say, though, that an earthquake did occur, that where we were, because of how it was built, is one of the safest places to be.
That's true. That's true. That's fine. It's still fun to see an earthquake sensor.
Right.
And it's right where you can walk. This is how you know the dam was built years ago. Because today, the earthquake sensor would be protected against idiots. It would be idiot-proof.
Right.
This earthquake sensor is in the middle of where you walk. It says, please don't kick. I'm an earthquake sensor.
Right. So, it was fascinating. We all enjoyed the day greatly. And then afterwards, we drove to Lake Mead, and we drove down, And Vinny, being Vinny, immediately befriended somebody.
A Turk.
Okay, a Turk. Befriended someone that had a houseboat on Lake Mead, because apparently on Lake Mead, there's a whole community of houseboats there, and they live there year round. And so they have this whole little community.
And it's gated off.
It's gated off.
You can't go in there unless you know the Turk of Lake Mead.
Right. So next thing I know, we're on somebody's houseboat, and a guy's trying to sell us said houseboat in the middle of Nevada.
Touring the whole thing in the bedrooms.
In the bedroom, we were all on it. We're hanging out on the houseboat. And now I know I have to extract us because Vinny will settle in.
Well, I wanted to go see the other houseboat.
Well, we were invited to see the other houseboat. And so
actually, we were invited out to a party on the lake.
We were invited out to the party on the lake.
He said, I'll take you guys out there right now. And Vicki, we walked away. Vicki walked away from me, and I walked up to her, and she goes, we're not going to a party on the lake.
Right, and I also
you lose the Turk.
I also said we were also not going on the other houseboat. We're going to go back. We have dinner reservations. To which Vinny said, well, what do? I was invited. I'm like, he's a stranger, weirdo. Stranger danger. And so,
he was so nice.
No, he was very nice. But it's funny because Patty knows me so well. So well. Because we walk away, and the Turk says to Patty, oh, this is a good sign. The husband and the wife are talking. This is a good sign. They're going to buy the houseboat. And Patty turns to Doug and says, Vicky's getting us out of this. Yeah. So I walk back and I say, oh, bad news. The restaurant just called. Our dinner reservation got moved up. We've got to go. We take one step away, and Josephine, I don't know if you heard her, goes, really? Our dinner reservation got moved up? I go, no, Josephine! We're leaving! We're leaving!
Wasn't the Turk sweet?
No, he was very sweet, but I'm not going to buy a houseboat in the middle of Nevada.
Okay, now, I know we're not, but you will admit it was $110,000. And if you were there enough to use it, it would be insanely fun.
It would. Like, if you wanted to live in a houseboat that...
Or just have it for weekends.
Right. And then, just, listen, I didn't like the bedroom setup. Like, you walked in, it was a big living room, a big kitchen.
So, just so we get it clear what's happening here, I didn't look at the bedroom setup because I knew I wasn't really shopping for a houseboat. Somebody apparently was more into it than I was. Oh, no. We would have to change all of this. No. Show me another boat because this one doesn't work.
No, but I mean, I wouldn't want to live on it full time is my point.
You would not want to?
No, I would not want to.
Well, the Turk lives on his part-time.
Right, and then in his house that he has that was by
30 minutes away.
30 minutes away outside of Las Vegas, he rents out a bunch of rooms. Mm-hmm. So he's a wheeler and dealer.
He's a wheeler and dealer.
Yeah.
And the other guy bought a bigger houseboat from his Russian. He had a girl that he knew that was Russian.
Right.
Whose Russian husband.
Military, yeah.
Ex-military Russian military?
No, she married an American who was in the military.
And he basically said, me or the boat. Anyway, the dam was great.
Yeah, no, the dam was great. So then we went what?
We gambled that night.
We did gamble that night.
I gambled.
You gambled. I'm a cheap gambler.
I went on an epic craps roll. If you were a real gambler at my table when I was throwing dice,
right,
you would have made significant money because I was on a tear.
You were.
I think I rolled for an hour and a half.
Right.
3 different croupiers.
Right.
What did they say? Croupier, whatever it was.
I have no idea.
3 different stick men. And we were just making money. At one point, Derek said the funniest thing. Everyone's making money. They're hooting and hollering. I'm trying to remember how to do craps. I haven't shot in forever. And Derek goes, you can all thank me later for bringing Rain Man to the table. And it's just fun time.
Yeah.
I won $654 and then wrestled with, should I gamble it and give it back to the casino or just give it to you? And I just gave it to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you put your earnings, your winnings aside. You said you want to do something with it. So
I do.
But so from Vegas, we came home for about less than 48 hours and then scooted back out to Ann Arbor for our good friend Amir Mahmoud's wedding. He married lovely Rebecca. It was really just a wonderful time. It was all of my high school and childhood friends.
And some of them I know.
Well, yes. Well, what happened over all the years is that
They like me more.
No. But it was, all of their spouses and the friends that were from the Hoboken crew were there. And you know what it was? It was when you're with friends that you have known for that long. And there's such a familiarity across the board with everyone.
Great.
And so we had just had so many laughs. It's so fun. We really just had a great time. And we got to see Tabby while we were there, too.
I was going to say, I was about to say, we went to Ann Arbor to see Tabby, and we got to go to our friend's wedding.
No, we went for the wedding and got to see Tabby.
Wedding, I went for my daughter.
But
let the record show that.
Yeah, so we really did have a great time. So we have some pictures from the wedding, and it was wonderful from start to finish for that wedding.
Better for me because I made new friends.
You did. So there was a bartender that took a huge shine to Vinnie. Her name was Lucy, and she was seeking Vinnie out during the reception, and my friends and I were cracking up about it. We're like, Lucy's looking for Vinnie, and she's got the recipe for her old fashioned. She's going to show Vinnie, and she's showing him how she makes it.
And did I not come to you and say, you better protect your turf? Mm-hmm. Did I?
And what did I say? Have at it, Lucy. Have at it. But what cracked my friends and I up the next morning is, I'm packing up the hotel room and I'm cleaning everything up. And I will say that I had a lot to drink.
Not me.
I know.
I maintain my faculties.
All right, do-getter. Not me. So I was eating pizza at 1:30 in the morning. And, but I was cleaning up and I came across Lucy's digits. Lucy had slipped you her digits and her Facebook and her email. And
look how shocked Noah is. Hey, screw you, Noah. Not the first time it's happened.
Yeah, so I called.
A gay man also danced with me and felt my ass.
Yeah, he did. He really did like you.
I couldn't turn it off. It was him and Lucy in a battle to the death.
Yeah. So, but it was just super fun. Like we had a really good time at Amir and Rebecca's wedding, and so many laughs. But I did have almost one gaffe, one big. It would have been a major gaffe. Major gaffe.
We didn't have.
No, I said me. I said me. I mean,
I was gaff free.
So
with
originally,
the exception of Lucy's phone number.
Yeah. Originally, the cocktail hour was going to be outside. Mm-hmm. The wedding, the actual ceremony was outside, but it was really cold. And
it wasn't really that cold. Too cold to have a reception outside.
Right. So
50 degrees.
Right. So they moved the cocktail hour inside. It was an impromptu move.
Yes.
It was an impromptu move where the
cake cutting was going to be.
The cake cutting was going to be, and the dancing was going to be upstairs in this farmhouse. So the cake was literally sitting on a cocktail table, like half this size. And there was nothing around the cocktail table to indicate that the cake was sitting there. So why my brain saw the cake, it did not register said cake.
And you weren't even drunk.
No, I wasn't. I was like 2 drinks in. And
you weren't even 1 drink in at that point.
No, I was on my 2nd drink when it
wow,
happened.
You were rushing through the night.
And well, those were really, Lucy makes a nice drink. I will say, Lucy makes a nice drink.
At my divorce proceeding, Lucy's going to tend bar.
Yeah. So I had like my cell phone, I had the card, I had my drink, and I had my jacket. And I'm talking to Lori Broderick, and I turn, and I'm not paying attention, and I'm just like throwing my purse down on this table, and I'm throwing my cell phone down, and I had a red jacket that I had packed with me, like a red wool jacket, because I had known ahead of time that it was going to be chilly. And I was just I turned like this, and I was literally just about to throw my jacket on the table, And at the last second, my brain registered, holy crap, that's the wedding cake. And at the last second, I was like, oh my God. To which Lori burst out laughing because she realized at the same time I did. Because, I mean, it was so...
Yeah, what do if you wipe out someone's wedding cake?
I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
I'll done. Let's go, Lucy. This one's a mess.
Right, and the wedding cake was so good. I had 2 pieces.
It was such a good cake.
It was such a good cake. And, yeah, I would have been embarrassed. Like, I would have been, like, with a knife, wiping. Like, I don't know.
That cake was tall. If your coat hit it,
I know.
That cake would have went over. That was Leaning Tower at pizza time.
Right, like just one of those moments when you almost wipe out somebody else's wedding cake.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't recover from that.
There's no recovery from that.
I've known Amirs since I was 5. I think that would be like a never-ending friendship thing.
I think that would have been a big issue.
I do. I do.
So. I was gasped.
Oh, and the other thing that was so funny. So my friends and I went and got our hair blown out that day. And our friend Mariannes, who she had her curls done in her hair.
Yes.
So she had her curls pinned up for the bus ride. So
Mariannes has that beautiful, thick, black Persian hair.
She does. She does. And so Mariannes didn't realize on this big charter bus was going to be other people besides our friends. I don't know why she thought that only our friends would have a whole big charter bus, but she did. And so she was like, oh my God, my hair is up. I was going to take it down, but I thought it was just our friends, so I thought it was fine. So she gets on the bus, and Vinnie, I swear to God, looks up like this, not knowing that this is not her hairstyle for the wedding.
Your hair looked great. Everyone that went to get their hair blown out, everyone's hair was perfect. Mariannes looked like Princess Leia.
Right. So Vinnie goes, Vicki, check your text. And I was like, what? And he goes, why does Marianne's hair look like Princess Leia? And he's concerned. Like, there's deep concern as a friend.
I had deep concern.
Because our good friend is going to go to a wedding
beautiful
looking
girl,
like,
bad hairdo.
Like Princess Leia, to which I burst out. Oh my God, she's taking it down. It's just so she doesn't lose the curls. And I said, I can't wait to tell her. I can't wait.
I deleted my text. You
deleted your text, but it's still on my phone. So you said, no, please don't. Please don't. I was just so worried for her. And I was like, oh no, buddy. It's going to be the first thing I say to Mariannes when she gets off this bus. Well, so she was cracking up.
When the hair came down.
It looked beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
When the hair was up.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. She thinks that she went to a hairstylist and said, do this to my head. And I'm like, whoo. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, this is all her childhood girlfriends.
Right.
All saying, I'm not telling her. You tell, no, just tell her it's
See,
nice.
that's the opposite. That's the opposite. Because we've known each other for so long, honestly, if we knew that's what she was going with, somebody in the group, Karen probably would have said it, or Sue, if Sue was there, they would have looked at her and be like, Mariannes, what is up with your hair?
Yeah.
Fix your hair.
Yeah, I can actually hear your friend doing that now.
Yes.
But in that moment of concern, hey, Tab, we're right in the middle of a podcast. Can you hang on one second?
Why is Tabby calling you?
I don't know. Tabby.
Tabby, why are you calling Dad?
You know why, Tabby? Because you're my favorite, honey.
Because, Tabby, I gave you life. You should always call me first.
Tabby, I'll call you right back, sweetheart.
Bye,
I
sweetheart.
love you too. Bye. So, I really...
My childhood friends would tell each other.
They would tell each other.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, they would tell each other.
In a rude manner.
Yes, in a rude manner. Out of love, though. It's always out of love.
Yep.
It's always out of love.
Let's wrap up by saying
congratulations, Rebecca and Amir.
To Rebecca and Amir.
Mm-hmm. Lovely couple.
The Michigan Wolverines, who annihilated Indiana. Now let's talk about weird news real quick.
Right. Well, the only weird news that I really had was the Kanye West, Britney Spears debacle that's been going on. You know, and it's funny because you don't even really necessarily need to follow exactly what's happening with either one of them.
No.
Britney Spears is always naked on Instagram.
Right.
And fighting with everybody. And Kanye West, who's now changed his name to Ye, just Ye.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah. So had put some anti-Semitic things on Instagram
Well, he's
or
anti-Semitic.
Twitter, and then said Diddy, who also has changed his name several times, Sean Puffy Combs, who's Diddy now, was being controlled, I guess, by Jewish people. I'm not entirely sure. But it kicked off a whole thing. And one of the things that makes me always pause is that these celebrities, you know, whether they have serious mental illness, obviously, both of them. And
Are you sure?
Are you being sarcastic?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But
And Sean Combs, I knew 100 years ago.
I'm not talking about him. You're not even following. You're not even following the
I
weird
am
news.
following. Whatever. He changed his name too, didn't he? He was Puffy
did.
for a while.
I just said that.
Okay.
Even in the podcast, you don't
Who's
listen
the
to
nut
me.
we're talking about? Kanye.
Kanye West.
Okay. I knew Kanye West was an asshole back when people didn't think he was an asshole. And I remember saying to people, you know, he's an asshole.
No,
and people would go, no. And yeah.
I don't think he's an asshole, Vinny. I think he's mentally ill.
Okay. Let me see what I think. He's been allowed this. He has been entitled into crazy, as has Britney Spears.
Well, I think Britney Spears is legitimately not right. I mean,
Yes, but what made her not right was severe entitlement.
well, I disagree with that. I think Britney Spears is not right because she was literally a childhood star, and a lot of them then become mentally ill, I think, because, you know, their childhood is robbed from them. Right. But she is naked non-stop.
You know, she was naked again 2 weeks ago.
I think it was last week. Last week she was fully naked.
I literally said to myself, she did it again. Oops. And
You're such an idiot. But what I want to know is that all the people that are around them, like, you know, so Britney Spears had that big conservative
and I knew
case.
It was Britney Spears' father in the conservatory with a pipe wrench.
You're such an idiot. No, but why I'm bringing this up is you've got to question the people that are around them, that are saying like, yeah, Kanye, go ahead and put that tweet out.
Okay,
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, you're following a guy who he's the life of the party. He has untold money. He has access to all nightclubs, all casinos, all hotels. Bend over backward to kiss his ass. He can get into any Hollywood party, anywhere, and you're on his coattails. And you think that from the coattail you might say, tone it down, Kanye. No.
Well, you know what I think about is Tracy Morgan's character in 30 Rock.
Yes.
It's like so accurate where
Yes.
like Grizz
Yes.
and the other guy
Yes.
have to just go along with
Yes.
whatever antics Tracy
Look
Morgan
how
has.
Noah okays all your bullshit.
Yeah. All my bullshit.
No one knows you're 100 air. Now let me tell you something.
100 air. Woo-hoo! With Vinny's Vegas winnings.
That's the thing. So all of these people,
Yeah.
they're enabled by their agents, their managers,
Yeah.
their personal assistants, their nannies, because they're all feeding them.
Yeah.
And this is why bad people continually get opportunities in Hollywood. Because if you can make money, they'll turn the other way. That's how Weinstein got away with it for years.
Well, I was thinking about Mitch Hedberg. Like when I read, that's where I was going with this. When I read,
let's make sure we not think something bad about his character.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying anything bad about Mitch Hedberg's character. What I'm saying is that he had a bad drug problem.
Yes.
And
No one did anything about it.
No one did anything about it. And his leg was literally rotting off of him with gangrene.
Yes.
On an airplane.
And people wouldn't fly with him.
Right.
Because he smelled so badly.
Right.
And they made them remove him from the flight.
Right. Which is so, it's such a tragedy.
Yes.
That these people are surrounded by these people that are just making money off of them and not caring about their well-being at all. Because clearly there's something wrong with Kanye West and Britney Spears. Like, I mean, most people that are 40, 41, I think she is, aren't naked all the time on Instagram. Now, kudos to her for having a body to do that after 2 kids. But I'm just saying that, you know, you wouldn't be always naked.
I've said it 100 times. Money. Mm-hmm. Money changes everything.
Okay. So, all right. So,
Cyndi Lauper. Now, she's a rock and roll. I love Cyndi.
And that commercial she does with the purple hair, she's rocking that purple hair.
I love Cyndi Lauper.
I know, she's so
and I
good.
love that song. You don't love that song like I do.
No. Wow.
If you know what I say, Vicki?
What?
I'm sorry, babe. I'm leaving here tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, that's for us today. We had to pre-record today because somebody's going to the Yankee playoff game.
Let's go, Yankees.
Woo!
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta be in the car in 2 minutes.
All right. I'm Vicki Brand.
I'm Vinnie Brand.
Have a good night.
See you next Tuesday live. We promise we'll be live next Tuesday. And sorry that the Mets washed out. What a heartbreak season.
Yeah.
But the Yankees tonight will take game 1 against the Cleveland Guardians.
Good night.